This video is sponsored by Skillshare. When I started working towards turning my love for art into my dream job, I worried that the pressure of working for clients, having deadlines, and running my own business would drain all of the passion out of it. So if making art becomes my job, will I still enjoy being creative? On the one hand, monetizing your art can add a lot of pressure to your creative practice because you need to be creating things that sell in order to make money, and that stress can pull the passion out of something pretty quickly. On the other hand, making art your job can enrich your creative practice because it gives you more time to spend on it. Like with anything in life, it's not black and white, and so in this video, I'm not going to be telling you that it will be one thing or the other, but I will tell you my experiences and what to consider when you're thinking about whether selling your art is a good thing or not. In general, I would say that yes, in my experience, sometimes drawing as my job takes the passion out of it. I don't always want to sit and draw, but sometimes I have to. There have been times when stressing about earning money from my art or the pressure of needing to build an audience with it has made it feel less special and more like I'm a factory churning out lottery tickets just hoping one of them will help me hit the jackpot. There have been times when I've mismanaged my time and had to stay up literally all night drawing to hit a deadline the next day that I didn't want to ask for an extension on. And I don't mean staying up all night because I'm so passionate about what I'm working on and I got carried away. I mean frantically trying to finish a project that I underestimated because I forgot how hard people are to draw. That's a job. And even worse, it's a job without any boundaries because I work for myself. But those days are the vast minority, and for me, even the most tedious and boring and stressful days as an artist are still days when I get to make art for my job, and that is far more exciting to me than working a full-time job for somebody else in another career path. It feels like a huge privilege to do what I do, so even when I don't really feel like doing it, it's still an incredible opportunity. I get to create joyful illustrations and share that joy with other people and get paid for it. And that is the definition of my dream job. So yes, sometimes it's not that fun to work for yourself as an artist because sometimes you have to spend all day doing your taxes and there's a lot more admin than you probably think. But there's also a lot of art and creativity and the opportunity to share something really lovely with the world. Now, just because it's my dream job doesn't necessarily mean that it's yours, even if you really enjoy making art. So let's look at some potential pros and cons, and it comes down to whether you think the pros outweigh the cons for you, and only you can answer that. Some pros of selling your art. It earns money. Money makes the world go round, so if you can earn it from your art, then you don't have to earn it elsewhere. Big pro. You get to spend your time making art. When you make art your job, it allows you to really legitimately spend time creating and less time working for somebody else. There's no question of whether you should be doing something more productive. This is your job. You're at work. It legitimizes your creative skills. Sometimes it's motivating to know that other people like what you do enough to buy it. Sure, it's external validation, but some people like that. It lets you share your passion. Art is a huge part of human connection, so sharing your art with other people or even making art for them can be really rewarding and enrich your creative practice even more. This is personally my favorite part of being a professional artist because I enjoy sharing art that makes people feel happy. For me, it's better because it's shared. It's fulfilling. As long as you can make space in your art job for creating things that you love, then it can be very fulfilling creatively. And it gives you flexibility. If you're working for yourself, then you get to choose when you work and how you work, and that's really valuable for a lot of people. And some cons of selling your art. It adds pressure. Making art because you have to is different to making art because you want to. And even though you might still want to make art when you monetize it, there will naturally be a bit of pressure to either make a lot of things to sell, or to make them in a certain way, or to a deadline. There's a lot of admin. When you're getting started, especially, there are some business logistics that you need to take care of that will vary depending on where you live. And when everything is up and running, you need to spend time on emails, messages, finances, research, and lots of little tasks that aren't art related at all. It's difficult to monetize. I've been talking this whole video about just making money from your art as if it's no big deal, but it can actually be really hard to earn your first dollars. I have lots of other videos about the business side of things, but it usually takes a lot of time and energy to actually build an art career. It's vulnerable. Even if you don't make art that's personal to you, it's still a bit scary to share your art with the world, and especially scary to make commissions for clients. It's a lot of responsibility. Working for yourself is usually not the carefree fantasy that we picture in our heads. There can absolutely be a lot of freedom with it, but there's also a lot of responsibility to make sure that you can pay the bills every month. And it's 24/7. Have you ever heard the saying, I quit my 9 to 5 to work 24/7 for myself? Well, it's true. Maybe not literally, but it definitely feels like it sometimes. It's hard to set boundaries when you're dedicated to growing an art income, and it's hard to switch off. Now, if you look at this list and think that for you the pros probably do outweigh the cons, then maybe monetizing your art is a good path for you to try. If they don't, then no problem. Maybe you'd rather keep making art for yourself, and you can always consider this again in the future if your position changes. There's nothing wrong with an artist who wants the freedom of earning a living from their art, and there's nothing wrong with an artist who wants the freedom of not having to earn a living from their art. If you're still not sure, think about what you personally love about making art, and is that something that you could see yourself sharing? For some people, art is very personal and therapeutic. For others, it's something to tell stories with and a way to share their unique perspective with other people. If for you it's the former, you might find monetizing your passion more challenging than if it's the latter. Personally, I enjoy the process of bringing an idea to life and creating something joyful, so sharing that with the world only enriches it further. I think the winning combination as an artist is finding the balance for yourself between how much of your creativity you give away for how much money you make. In my mind, there's a sort of spectrum of selling your art that goes from making art however you'd like to make it while maintaining your full creative freedom, all the way up to selling a lot of that creative freedom for whatever a client wants you to make, within reason, of course. At the gentlest end of the spectrum, you could build a business where you pretty much make art that you want to make, become the best at that style that you can, and if people like it, they can come and buy it. It's not typically a very strong business strategy to build it and hope they will come, so it's probably harder to earn money this way. But if you want to protect your creative freedom and just want to give monetization a go, then it could be a good place to start at least. The next step along is making art that you want to make, but also with your customer in mind. This might mean tweaking what you would be doing for fun and making it more sellable. You're still in control of what you're creating, but you're making it with the intention of putting it on certain products for certain customers as well, so there's a little bit of compromise. And at the far end of the spectrum is making art specifically for clients in the way that they want. You're getting paid directly to make the art in the first place, so you're earning money up front, but it's completely based on what they've requested, which may or may not be something that you're excited about. Your art style is presumably something that you like and enjoy making, so client work is usually enjoyable, but it might not be a project that you love. I think that with anything in life, the further away you are from your values, the less sustainable it is, which is why it's super important to get clarity on what your values are and what you want to get out of monetizing your art before you even really begin. Having that strong foundation helps you make decisions in your small business that align with what you want and what you care about, and that in turn gives you a much higher chance of actually enjoying yourself. I talk more about getting clarity on your foundations in my little class on Skillshare, who are the sponsor of today's video, where you can download a workbook to help you plan a creative business path that actually aligns with what's important to you. Skillshare is an online learning community with lots of great classes on topics like illustration, building a creative career, and portfolio development. My class is called Plan Your Creative Business, Your Path to Creating Income as an Artist, and it's all about defining your own path toward making money from your art with some guidance from me and a few business basics. If you've already watched my class, they have some great learning pathways as well, like this one, Become a Freelance Illustrator Career Skills, which covers portfolio building, handling client projects, and pricing art commissions across 3 classes from professional creatives. It's a really useful starting point to give you an overview of the basics. I love the variety of classes on Skillshare and have learned so much for my own art business journey there. If you'd like to watch all of these classes for free, then be one of the first 500 people to use my link in the description to receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. I know it can be a bit overwhelming knowing what to watch with your whole 1-month free trial, so here are some extra classes that I think are really great to help you get started. So once you know what your values are, you can choose a path that aligns most with those, which will help you build an art career that is sustainable and enjoyable. There will always be things about it that you like less and that you like more, like any job, but if you can maximize the things that you do like, then you'll be better off in the long run. If you can't stand the idea of working for clients, then build a business that doesn't rely on that as an income stream. If you love the idea of helping other artists, then build that into your business plan. There are so many ways you can make money from your art skills, and it doesn't always have to be selling your art directly. Art is super personal, so only you know how you feel about the art that you make and what you want to get out of being an artist. If the price of giving up some of the passion to try to make a living from it is worth it to you, then give it a go. If it isn't, then keep it for yourself to enjoy. There's no right or wrong, and just because you could do something doesn't necessarily mean that you should. You're the one who's living your life, so do what feels right for you. I'd love to hear about your experiences, so leave a comment below telling us your story if that's something you'd like to share, and read some of the other comments too, because we have so many lovely artists in this community and it's always nice to connect. Also, I am busy working away on a class with everything I've learned about starting a successful art business that I'll be releasing in the next few weeks, but it's available for pre-order now at a discount if you're watching this before the end of September, or if you're watching this in the future, then it will already be out and you won't have to wait. So see the link in my description for more information if you'd like to join me there. Thanks so much for watching this video. Give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more art videos. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.